Tonight, Undercover Pets.
Right, hang on there, Monty. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on, come here. Look at me. Right, remember your story. You're supposed to be off your food, OK? It's a big day for both of us. All right, we ready? Come on then, let's go.
My dog Monty and his mates investigate vets who overcharge.
My biggest fear with the profession at the moment is that it's very easy to make money out of a situation that, in my view, doesn't actually need all this treatment.
And how you could save a fortune on your pet.
If you bought the drugs online, you could save £500.
My gosh.
What would you save if it was £1,000? £2,000. 3,000? 4,000?
I'm shocked.
We love pets. Nearly half of all households have one. The most popular are hamsters, 500,000 of them, rabbits, 1.5 million, cats, 7.2 million, and top of the pile, dogs. There are nearly 7.5 million dog owners in Britain, and I'm one. It must be love, love, love. But, and this is official, the most handsome, gorgeous and indeed intelligent dog in Britain is, of course, Monty. And I'm being completely unbiased. He's quite expensive though. He costs around £2,000 a year to keep, although as far as I'm concerned that's completely worth it. But he's by no means exceptional, because the average dog costs its owner around £30,000 over the course of its lifetime.
Monty 12, and again, Monty 12.
Not that any of us begrudge spending that money, of course. Most of us would do anything for our pet, whatever the price. So, no prizes for guessing who stands to gain the most from that. Vets.
You're not supposed to eat it, Monty.
It's an easy way to make money if you know how to play the client. And it sounds horrific, but it is true. There's a huge emotional bond, there's a guilt involved. And if a vet is determined to make as much money as possible in a very quick buck approach, it's very easy.
And very lucrative. Vet bills have risen by, on average, 12% over the last 5 years, which is why 3/4 of dog owners say keeping their pet healthy is now too expensive. But the question is, do vet bills really need to be that high? Well, that's something we want to look into, and for that we need the best undercover investigator in the business, and we think we've got him. Not me, but him. Unlike a lot of stars, Monty's demands aren't excessive. He likes to be paid in dog biscuits, tummy tickles, and his particular personal favourite, used yoghurt pots.
Told you so!
So this is the plan. Monty and his mates, that's Rupert the rabbit, and Mickey, the coolest cat on the block, will go undercover to find out whether, when they visit the vet, we pay over the odds. First up, it's Rupert.
Right then, Rupert. Big day for you today. Don't forget your cover story. Let's get you in there.
One of our production team takes him to 4 vets and pretends that he's off his food. 3 vets recommend minor treatments, the cheapest being £25, but the most expensive almost double that. But one vet says Rupert has problems with his teeth and needs immediate treatment. He wants to keep him in overnight so he can give him a course of injections, monitor his progress and file his teeth. Total cost around £130. For Rupert's sake, we make our excuses and leave. But does Rupert really have a problem with his teeth?
Rupert, meet Marc. Marc, meet Rupert.
Hello, Rupert.
Isn't he gorgeous?
Very sweet little bunny.
To find out, I took him to see Marc Abraham, a vet with 14 years' experience.
This is bunny dentist time.
This is bunny dentist time. This is the only real way to look in the back of a rabbit's mouth.
He's feeling a bit nervous.
I'm not surprised. They're quite rounded. There's no sharp bits sticking into the tongue or into the gums. So I'm quite convinced that there's no real reason, dental-wise, why this rabbit shouldn't be eating. In fact, it's a very healthy mouth indeed. No ulcers, no wounds on the tongue.
Now that's very interesting, because one of the vets we took him to took him out the back,
Yeah.
examined him away from us, then came back and said his teeth
urgently needed filing, but he wanted to keep him in overnight and do the work, you know, as a matter of urgency. So, I mean, you know, you're completely at odds here.
Absolutely. In my professional opinion, I don't see any reason to A, keep the rabbit in overnight, or B, certainly knock him out with a full general anaesthetic and do dental work, which I actually feel is very unnecessary.
If Rupert really had been off his food, we'd have paid anything between £25 and £130, and we may have subjected him to unnecessary treatment. Which is something pet owners feel happens quite a lot, because more than 40% suspect that vets sometimes give treatment that's not absolutely necessary.
It does happen. I've worked in places where I've actually refused to clean a cat's teeth, for example, that was old and I didn't think needed the anaesthetic because they hadn't been, the owners hadn't been discussed the change of diet or any other alternatives. And I remember the partner actually rang me up and said, well, you know, I don't think you should be here anymore if you're not going to make any money for the practice. And I said, fine, and I walked out. Because, in my view, it was profit that was the priority, not the pet.
This is Bear, the Rottweiler. There's no doubt the treatment he's received has been necessary, but even so, he's run up some pretty big bills. He's undergone surgery to his spine that's left him hardly able to walk, and his owner thousands of pounds in debt.
I've got all these vet bills here. Things like hospitalisation, £507, general anaesthesia, £407, orthopaedic surgery, £211, just the MRI scans and X-rays were £1,300. I'd say with the surgery and the hydrotherapy and physiotherapy, it's come to about £15,000.
Pet insurance only covered the first £4,000, so Tamara ended up borrowing the rest in order to pay the vet bill.
I was just so distraught at seeing him paralysed that money didn't come into it until afterwards. I just wanted them to fix him at whatever cost.
Bear will be on medication for the rest of his life, running up more hefty vet bills, including £120 a month on anti-inflammatory tablets. Over the next 5 years, that bill alone will add up to more than £7,000. Now, vets have been criticised for marking up the price of their medicines, so Monty and I pop into the office to do a bit of digging on that.
Hello, Mark. How are you, mate? All right. Nice to see you. Lovely to see you. Hello, Monty. How are you? What's he doing here?
He's doing an undercover report.
Is he now? That's my job.
We want to find out whether Tamara's paying too much for Bear's anti-inflammatory pills, so we're going to check the prices online. Monty is not very good on the keyboard, though he does like the pause button. So while I type, he keeps an eye on things. Now, Tamara's paying 67p per tablet, but a quick search of reputable online sites, and the cheapest we find it for is 26p. Based on those figures, Tamara is paying a massive markup.
What would you say if I told you that over the next 5 years you could save, if you bought the drugs online, okay, £500?
Oh my gosh.
What would you say if it was 1,000?
That's a lot of money.
Well, it's more than that. What would you say if it was £2,000?
I'm speechless.
3,000?
Good God.
4,000?
That's phenomenal.
If you bought his drugs online, you would save yourself £4,270 over the next 5 years.
I'm shocked.
I know vets have to make a profit.
Yeah.
And it's right that they should. But what do you think about the kind of markup that you've been subjected to?
That is a phenomenal markup. I suppose people, you know, when it comes to their pets, you're just willing to pay whatever at the time. But if I can save that amount of money, that's a lot.
You and Bear need to get online, don't you?
We do, yes.
Told you so.
We take our findings to the top. Jill Newt, president of the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons. It's her job to regulate vets and protect pets and their owners.
The suspicion is going to be, from people watching this programme, that vets can still basically charge as much as they like and get away with it. and they do.
It's not quite as simple as that at all. We've had 2 meetings with the Office of Fair Trading who believe that the situation has changed. There have been a number of surveys of the way veterinary surgeons do price their services and medicines, and the recommendation from the Competitions Commission was that veterinary surgeons should charge realistically for their services.
So you were
and should
overcharging.
charge competitively on medicines.
So you were overcharging a lot, but you're not overcharging as much now.
I think the situation has changed because the market for medicines has opened up. So if vets want to carry on selling medicines, they have to compete with the internet pharmacy.